Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial from your Paint Couture creative team. This is Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. Today I'm bringing you a super dreamy jewelry box makeover. This little piece went from drab to totally fabulous with layers of texture, florals, gold, and whimsy. So grab your coffee or paintbrush or just get cozy and let's jump into this transformation. This was actually a brand new jewelry box that I bought as a gift for my mother-in-law. So there really was no need to clean it. I just wanted to make sure that I gave it a good scuff sand. So I'm using a 220 grit sanding block to scuff up all areas of the jewelry box just to make sure I'm going to give it an excellent opportunity for the paint to adhere to the surface. And after that's complete, I'll just dust it off and make sure I've got all of the felt areas taped off because I don't want to get any paint into those areas. So this jewelry box was a really great size and I really liked the design of it, but it just needed a little bit of love. So I'm starting off with Paint Couture's Premium Plus 2-in-1 Primer. This is the color white, and I will apply the first coat and allow it a couple hours to dry. Usually only needs about an hour, but I'm going to leave it for 2 hours. And then I'll come back in with a second coat, and then it'll be ready for paint. I do try to leave my primer to dry overnight, so usually about 24 hours before I come in with the paint, because I do want the primer to have an opportunity to do its job. This is a blocking and adhesion primer, so the jewelry box doesn't necessarily need protection from blocking, but it does need to be able to have good adhesion properties, so I really want to make sure I leave it overnight to give it the best chance for that. And now I'm going to glue on my iFlex wood pieces. This particular one that I'm working with right now is the Flower Garland Swag. This is item number 0349. And we're just going to put this on the top of the jewelry box. And then I have other various wooden appliques that I'm going to be applying in other areas. But the really neat thing about iFlex wood products is that they are heat bendable. So particularly on this door of the jewelry box, it is a curved area. So naturally the flat flower is not going to adhere onto the surface because it is curved. So what I'm going to do is grab my blow dryer and apply some heat. And once it starts to heat up, it will become bendable. So I want it to curve to the surface of the door, and then I will use my wood glue to adhere the flower, and then I'll just tape it down just to make sure I give it an opportunity to grip onto the surface and dry appropriately. And I'm going to use some various other wood applique molds from iFlex Wood Products. Some flowers, some little rosettes, a little cameo brooch, and some other various flowers on the other side of the jewelry box on the other door. So I'll list all of these numbers down below so that you can have those for your reference. But this is just going to follow the same process, making sure that I heat up the wood applique and get it heat bendable so that I can apply it with the wood glue. Now, it doesn't take that long for this glue to dry. I would say within 30 minutes, all of these should be completely dried, probably even less, probably like 15 minutes. But once they're dry, then I can start painting. And on the top door of the jewelry box, I'm starting with a little bit of Peony, which is from the Paint Couture Acrylic Mineral line. And then I'm going to put kind of a halo around Peony with the color Vera at the Ballet. And then as you can see here, this darker pink shade, kind of a mauve color, this is a custom blend by Paint Couture. Paint Couture does offer the option of doing a custom color if you do not like to mix colors and make the shade that you're looking for. You can request for them to make you a custom color on their website. This particular color is called Socialite, and it is a really pretty mauve pink color, dusty pink kind of shade that I really am partial to. And I'm going to use that all over the jewelry box, with the exception of right in the middle of the doors here on the sides. For the doors, I'm using Peony also in the middle. It's kind of a very faint pink, almost like a creamy white color. And then I'm using the color Sophia, which is a really pretty blue on the outside, kind of like a halo. And so I'm going to do a little blend here of the halo effect with Peony and Sophia. And I'm just getting my first coat of paint down. So this is the first coat of the lighter whitish pink color, Peony in the middle, and then I'm going to do Sophia on the outside. And once I have that first coat down, I just want to leave it alone and let it dry. It's not a perfect color blend, so I'm going to come back and do another, I think I actually did 3 coats of this blend just to make sure I got it to look exactly how I wanted it. But I'm using the custom color Socialite on the outside of the door frame and throughout every other area of the jewelry box. And now that my paint has dried, I actually put about 2 coats of Socialite all over the jewelry box. Now that it's completely dry, I am going to put some stripes on this area of the box. This is inside the doors, the side doors of the jewelry box. And I want to put some stripes with one of the Luxe metallic colors, but I don't want that paint to bleed under the stripes. So what I'm doing is just making my stripes at this point. After I lay one strip of the tape, I'm using this smaller piece here as a marker so that I can have evenly spaced stripes. Now, in order to prevent your paint from bleeding through underneath your painter's tape, you just want to make sure that you've pressed down firmly on each piece of tape just to make sure it's got good contact. And then use the same color of paint that you used underneath the tape. So I'm basically taking that same Socialite color and I'm painting a layer between the jewelry box where it meets the tape. I'm just painting a layer of paint over that area, over that line. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock that area and form a barrier so that when I come in with my next paint color, it will not bleed. And just make sure you give it time to dry before you come in with your next paint color. So my next paint color is the color Rose Gold from the Paint Couture Luxe Metallic line, and I'm going to put 2 coats, but I'm using my blow dryer to speed up the drying time, just in the interest of time here. I'm using the blow dryer to dry it, and then I'll come in with the second coat of Rose Gold and also allow this time to dry. But you know, coincidentally, it doesn't need a whole lot of time to dry. Even if I wasn't using my blow dryer, it would not even take that long. I would say maybe 15 minutes and it would be dry. But so once it's dry, then I will begin the process of removing the tape. And so as you can see, there's nice crisp lines here between the Socialite color and the Rose Gold color. There's a couple of teeny tiny little spots that I may need to touch up, but that's really not a big deal. I'll just go in with a tiny little bit of Socialite to cover over those tiny little spots that need it. And so the next thing I'm doing is adding a decoupage paper to the drawer sides of the jewelry box. This is actually one of my most favorite things to do with any type of drawer, whether it's a jewelry box or a piece of furniture. I love a decoupage drawer side. And so for this, I'm using the decoupage paper from Redesign with Prima called Rosy Reverie. And I'm using the Paint Couture decoupage medium as my glue to adhere the paper and to seal the paper. And after it's dry, I'm using the same 220 grit sanding block to sand off the paper's edges. And now they're nice and clean lined edges. And so now it'll be like a little surprise pop of beauty every time my mother-in-law opens these drawers. It's like a hidden garden inside. And now that the entire jewelry box is completely dry, I'm going to add several different transfers. I have some roses, I have birds, I have gold manuscript, I have gold birds, I have lots of different fun stuff to give it some more charm and character. And after this is all dry, I'll go back over everything with a top coat of satin from the Paint Couture line of top coats. And the final step here is going to be adding gold gilding wax after my top coat has dried. I'm just adding gold gilding wax over all of the raised areas from the iFlex wood appliques and allow that some additional time to dry. I'm actually putting it around the frame of this little window here on the door. And that's it. That's the final step. And that's it for today's video. I hope you like how it turned out. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, this is Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. I will have all the products that I use listed in the comments down below. If I've inspired you to use any of these products from Paint Couture Paint or iFlex Wood products, I will list my affiliate link down below. And I really appreciate you tuning in to watch this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Paint Couture YouTube channel so that you don't miss any future tutorials from our creative team. And have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.